Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. And here's a summary of the young Sheldon. This is the origin story of the Big Bang Theory's most beloved character, Sheldon Cooper. The show takes place in the early 90s. We see a young Sheldon, at the age of 9 years old, living with his older brother George, nicknamed Georgie, his little sister Missy, and their parents, Mary and Mike Cooper. They live in the fictional town of Medford, Texas. In the pilot episode, we find out that Mary is pregnant again, which makes Sheldon quite anxious. He goes to his father and explains that he was doing great having one little brother and one little sister, but now there is going to be 4 of them, and he won't have anyone to play with him anymore. His father assures him that it will be all right, but this doesn't calm Sheldon down. To make matters worse, he has to share a bed with his new baby brother. All this stress causes Sheldon to regress and wet the bed, so his father decides that Sheldon should move into his own room instead. This means that Sheldon can finally turn his bedroom into a science lab and make it look like the one he'll have at university. As the series progresses, we see Sheldon develop from being an awkward child into a socially inept young man. Just like his adult counterpart, Sheldon has a lot of issues with social interactions. He often says inappropriate things without thinking about them first, and he also struggles to understand other people's feelings. Despite all of these problems, Sheldon is a very likable character, and even though the other kids at school don't really want to be his friend, we know that he's actually quite loved by his family. His mother is overprotective of him, but she just wants the best for him, and she loves him very much. His father is strict, but he also tries to give Sheldon life advice when he can. His older brother isn't always the best role model, but he does try to defend Sheldon when the situation calls for it. And Sheldon's little sister, Missy, is probably the only person who understands him better than anyone else. Sheldon's genius and bizarre personality makes him stand out from the crowd, but what really makes him special is his imagination. In most cases, it's his vivid imagination that gets him into trouble. For example, in the episode titled A Cooper and a Kripik and a Keith, Sheldon believes that there's a monster in the school library who's trying to steal his soul. This fear turns out to be true when the librarian locks him inside after hours. Or, in the episode titled Vanilla and Cream, Sheldon imagines that he's part of a group of superheroes called the Justice Friends. This imaginary world becomes real when he finds a note under his windshield wipers telling him that he has been selected for superhero training. Another interesting aspect of the show is how it portrays the relationship between Sheldon and his father. It's common knowledge that George Cooper was never really in the picture when Sheldon was a kid. He passed away before Sheldon started high school. However, in the show, we get to see what it was like during his earlier years. And even though they can butt heads sometimes, I think it's safe to say that they love each other. There are several instances where George sacrifices his own happiness for Sheldon, such as in the episode titled My Mother, the Guru, when he lets Sheldon sleep in his bed, so that he doesn't have to sleep alone after his dog, Cinnamon, passes away. And speaking of dogs, one of the recurring gags throughout the show is that no matter how much Sheldon claims not to like animals, he secretly loves his dog, Cinnamon, very much. Even after Cinnamon passes away, Sheldon keeps her collar and puts it on a shelf in his room as a way of coping with his grief. Something else that sets this show apart from others is its use of flashbacks. At the beginning of most episodes, we see a very young Sheldon interacting with his family or telling stories about his life. These flashbacks usually take us back to a time when he was 4 years old. They serve as a way to explore how certain character traits developed and why some of the characters are the way they are. For example, in the episode titled An Electron, an Iota and an Ounce, we find out that Mary was the one who taught young Sheldon how to read. When he was just 2 years old, He was already reading books written for 6-year-olds, so Mary decided to teach him more advanced material herself. Instead of waiting until he started kindergarten, this made Sheldon resent her at the time because he wanted to fit in with the other kids. But looking back, he realized that she did it for his own good. The show also stars Ian Armitage as young Sheldon Montana Jordan, as George Regan Revord, as Missy, and Annie Winters as Mary. The supporting cast includes Lance Barber as Uncle George, Bob Newhart as Dr. John Sturgis, and Christine Baranski as Dr. Beverly. Although it hasn't been renewed for a 6th season yet, it seems likely that it will be. The show is based on the early life of Jim Parsons' character, Sheldon Cooper, from The Big Bang Theory, and it's been a huge success so far. In fact, it's one of the most popular sitcoms on IMDb right now. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend that you do. You can watch all 4 seasons on HBO Max. And if you have already seen it, let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, before I end this video, I would like to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you love this video, please hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss any new videos. And if you really love this channel, consider becoming a member. With that said, I bid you farewell.